Hi guys. No, it wasn't the delivery. And again, Monday morning, I made a mistake. I went to see if the truck for the delivery arrived and I pressed stop record. So there's going to be a little mini part one and a part two down to my silly, stupidity again. Oh, guys, how many times have you seen when I've done this and I really do hate it, that I've done that, and I think I should have known better. Anyway, we're going to carry on. We've now done our two bows just with 3 loops, and what I'm going to do, where you see the longest pieces here, there's a fairly long piece here. I'm going to go in between and I'm going to place one there and then one directly opposite on the opposite side. So I want something a little bit thicker in the wire. So I'll grab those. And all I'm going to do is just dip a little bit of glue on so it attaches to the cable tie. Like so. I've placed it on top of the cable tie, and then I'm going to get one of the wire and I'm going to go one way. You can get, Chanel sticks, anything like that, but this is just to make a pick for me to place in, the bow. I could place it with the excuse me, the wire, floral wire, but it's not strong enough to go through excuse me, the styrofoam. So I want more of a solid wire or pick, so to use to place through. So I've now got that on there. And I'll do the same with this one. Place some glue. And then start wrapping one around one way. And I'm taking it up towards where the cable tie is, the wire, instead of down the pick. And I go the other way with the other one. So now I have 2 picks that will go in. So let's just get this one. I can't believe I've done that. Here I go again. I do it every time when I've messed up. I can't stop apologizing. Right, I'm going to put a bit of glue on the end of the pick. So the long one here. I'm placing it in at the top, because we will have things around it. So we've just kept that going down like so, with the tail ends hanging. And I'm going to go directly opposite. Just to make sure. I have those hanging as well. So we've got that one there as well. I'm just checking that they're opposite. I need to be above. Right, so we've got those now just with our tail ends hanging freely. Pop that one under there, like so. So let's just put the pin back in the ribbon. Right, let's carry on. Now I could have made my mind up. Let's have a look at the Chinese lantern. I got these because there was a similar shape to the acorns with like a little rounded point on the top. And again, by just adding in a bit of white, again, brings it alive. I was telling me, oh, yesterday I was doing the gardening with my husband. Well, he was doing the majority of it. And I was saying to him, oh, just add a little bit of this. Doesn't that bring it alive? I was sort of like giving him a few hints as well that it does that. I don't think I need to, but you know. So I'm going to bring these in here. Doesn't that look pretty? So let's cut. Excuse me. I don't know even if, you know, on the camera, guys, when you've accidentally pressed it and stopped the recording, can you mix two videos up in one on YouTube? I don't know. That's just popped in my head. I mean, if you can, well, I'll say my son could show me or do it for me because I'm not very technical. But he's gone to work and he won't be back till 8:15. How do I? Just have movement. I wonder if I should have got another one out. Maybe I should have got another one. Let me just grab another one. I won't stop the video. Have I got any ornaments left from another one that I've cut? I doubt it. Sorry guys, they're all... Oh my gosh. The stems are exceptionally long and they're tangled around some of the other things in the bucket. I only want one piece. So let's go for the one at the bottom. There. So then I've placed in 4. I don't usually work in evens numbers. But I think it's going to make it look a little bit better with having them like in four corners, so to speak. And opposite this one. Like so. So I've done that at the top. Now I've got the, obviously some more white. I've got the lamb's ear, and that's what would go to the bottom to add a bit of colour. Hydrangeas. I've already, the only thing I did prepare was these. I put 5, oh no, yeah, 5, but I only want 3, I think, or maybe 4. Yeah, 4. Let me get another one. And I placed these on single picks in advance. So I'm gonna go where you see the white Chinese lantern. I'm gonna go in between with these. So let's just see how long. But I'm going to bring them slightly down because they're higher up. I could either bring them up. What else have I got? No, I'll bring the berries up or bring them slightly down. So I'll bring them slightly down to form a triangle shape. So that's what we'll do with those. So I'll go in between, just slightly further down, because you'll want them to be seen when it's again on your cabinet or mantle. So you'd want to see the hydrangeas. So I'll bring them down. So I've got the bow here, so I'll just go shy of the bow and just bring that one under that loop there. And then another one in between here. And then another one just before the loop or bow on this side. So we've got those going around, as you can see. Now I've got the berries. Now I have got some oddments of these. So just by bringing these up above, even above the hydrangea and in between the two white Chinese lanterns, will also set it off up above. So let's go in between Chinese lanterns up above. Just to give it that lovely movement. So I'll bring that one here. so that will cover the mechanics a little bit there. So I'll put 2 longer pieces in and a short piece. I haven't got any more small pieces, so I'm going to have to cut off a fresh bunch. So we'll do a longer piece here. Let's grab just a shorter one. How many did that smaller one have on? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's a shame. I'm going to have to cut that. No, not there. I'll place the others on picks. So the smaller one, which like the opposite side, went just in to try and cover the mechanics of the bow, or some of the mechanics. And then these, because I've got just 2 left, I'll place these on single picks. Oh no, I've heard another truck. The thing is, a lady over the road has got the plumber in, and he keeps going to his truck or van, so I keep hearing that as well, and that's what's making me think that my delivery is here. So I'm going to go and place these just up above at the top in the center. So we've still got lots of space up above to do our arrangement. So we'll place those out of the way. Now, because I've got the darker ones, I will bring a few of those around the bottom, but I want to use the acorns. These came in a pack and of 6, and I just placed them on a pick. I'm going to put these as a group of cluster of 3 in the center. One. Two. And then a third, and these are all in the center at the top. Just as the cluster is looking and sitting beautiful. Oh, I found another one, guys. Oh my good gracious me. I can place that then up above. Why not? Let's get fun out of him. Place that here. There. Right, now let me just grab this. I don't know if these are going to look nice. Now I did cut a few off to see, either leave them as a cluster. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to. I think they may, something's telling me no with those. But then at the same time, I think with these, I would probably cut them down and have them as wispy bits. So what have I got? I've got I can get them there. Oh my gosh. Oh, just put that leaf off. Nothing's going right, guys. I've stopped the camera. The post didn't go right, and now my tummy's grumbling. Oh gosh. La da da, what a day. I definitely want to place in, just to add a little bit of texture, those. I don't need any more hydrangeas. I'm still going to bring in some of those. Now, what was that from? Chinese meeting. Right, let's do one thing at a time, yeah? Cut these down. So how many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Some have got more flowers on than others. Because on the bunch, some have got flowers on and some have got just where they are semi-flowering. So what I'm going to do with these, I think the ones with the flowers, I'm going to bring down the bottom. 1, 2, 3. Just to give a little bit of white floral down at the bottom. So I'm going to go under the bow. Like I have there. And I've only got 3 with the flowers on, so I'm going to do a triangular position with the 3. So 1, 2. And then around here, let's have a look at the other one, yeah. And 1 around here. And 3. So we've got the 3 around the bottom. And then I'll place in these 4 up above. So I'm going to go 1 here. got 4 or have I got 3? I've got 3. I could have sworn I counted 4. You see what I mean, guys? Somebody please tell me that I'm not going crazy. Oh my gosh. Do you get days like that? It's frightening. 2. Well, so be it. Well, you watch, guys. I'll go along. Does it fell off the side? No. I'll go along and I'll find it. Then we'll place one here and we'll do the triangle. Mind you, I did count 6, didn't I? Did Right, I'm not going to use any more of those. Oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh. Right, do I add in bay leaves? Or sage leaves? I could. Let's just add a few around the bottom to start with. Oh, I've just... I don't know what to say, guys. Please forgive me. Oh gosh, I've just pulled that off the pick. Well, I woke up all right this morning. So I'm going to place them there, look. So they're adding a little softness to the bottom of the, you know, the hard, you know, element or container or candlestick, should I say, with it being solid wood, that, you know, I'm softening that up and adding a little bit of softness in the foliage. So it doesn't, you know, the candlestick doesn't look too solid or hard, should I say, in, you know, visually. Some of these got like sugar, like a sugar coating, like where they glisten. I don't know if you can see. A bit like ice or snow. Right, I'm going to start here. We're going to start here. And I'm going to just bend it down a little bit so you can see, you know, a few of the leaves. I'm going to do the same under here as well. Just slightly bend it. And then we'll go under here. I think this one needs to be moved. I've placed that in the wrong position. It needs to be here. Maybe tomorrow I'll get up and I won't make any mistakes. But guys, we all make them. We wouldn't be normal if we didn't. Right, so do I need any up above? Or maybe on the second, yes. Second, as I call, level or layer. just to bring, again, I've got 4 on the bottom. I'm not going to bring 4 on the, you know, the next level up. I'm only going to use 3. And then maybe in the center, I'm not sure, I may use 2. Or it may not be needed. So there's 1 there, 1 there. So I'm going to go and start with the first one on the midsection. Again, just there, and I'm just, again, bringing a bit of softness up above. So then that will give off a really pretty feel as well. Put 1 there. So I'm looking where I've placed the other. So there's 1 there, 1 there. So I'll bring 1 around here. I'll see if I want to. No, I'm going to have to bring a 4 because it's not, because it's the bows that are making it look how I've placed a 3 in a triangle here. It's not giving me that on this side, that balance. Now I've been placing a lot of even numbers in. Right, so that's all I'm going to do up above. I'm not going to place any in the center. Now I've got our dark seed heads, and I'm going to scatter these around. I don't know how many there is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 14. So I must have used, because I think they came in a pack of 30. So I'm going to go around the bottom. To start with. And I'm going to, as you will hear me say that, adding something with a bit of light colour, like the white, creamy white, ivory, things like that, brings it alive. It's also the same by adding something dark. So, because the light colours can then bounce off of the dark. Excuse me. So I'm going to go all around the bottom. As you can see, I'm just placing them in. They're around, I'd say, probably 6 to 8 inch apart from each other. I don't want to, you know, overdo it. I want to spread them and make it look minimal with them around the bottom. And I'm letting them, and I'm bending them slightly so they just slightly hang over. Where did I start? There. So I'm going to need probably this one. Yeah, let's get rid of that string. So we've got those along the bottom. So now with the ones here, I'm going to cut that a little bit. I'm going to bring some and add them in at the top, where, you know, around again in the same sort of placement, just around, but I'm shortening the how they are, the placement. That is about 6 to 8 inches on the bottom. It's only probably about 4 to 6 inch on the top that they are being placed. And again, I'm just tilting them slightly so they look like they're coming out and down, they're heading downwards. And one more. Up there. So then I've got 4 left. So I could either place, I've got 4, so I'm going to place, because you see that is lined up with that, so I'm going to place it just next to these Chinese lanterns, but in between those, so they're there. So it's just shy off of those. So I'm creating what I call a little, you know, mini triangle. So if I show you, I will just place that one there where the Chinese lantern is. So you've got your triangle there. When I say triangle, it doesn't, you know, necessarily mean, or it doesn't mean that you have to have the top part of the triangle up here and then the flat side here. You can turn the triangle on its side at, you know, slight angle. You can do that to create the triangle. So I will do the same here. It's the same situation, one there, one there. So I will bring this one just shy off to the left a little bit, next to the Chinese lantern. So I've created a very small point. It's not a high point. And again, the same here. Or when I say high point, I mean like a high angle. And then this one here. Towards the Chinese lantern. So we've scattered those equally around. So we don't need any more of those. Now, let me just thread one of our pine through to see. Because then you would be able to use this as either an all year round. By adding pine, you could use it for autumn and winter. Or you could even keep it as an all year round, because pine is an all year round tree. See, I've got, let's have a look. Small, oh, I've got smaller clusters of these, that's great. So we're going to add those in for definite. Now, what about our rose, our thyme? Now, they add a lovely, you know, spiky texture, a rough look, you know, as well as having all these soft textures from the sage leaf, the eucalyptus, the ivy, you know, just having something like the dusted twine fern, something a little bit rough and spiky, you know, with the contrast. Just like the I'm going to place some of the lamb's ear at the bottom. I'm going to cut this. I'm going to do this first. Let's get the tags off. I may not need them all. I'll just take all the tags off. I know for definite I'm going to need around 4 minimum. So let's start with 4, and I'm going to keep these as a cluster as well. And all I'm going to do, I've got the ivy on the outside here. I'm going to push this as filler foliage and depth right underneath, so you'll just see the odd leaf popping out around the tips of the leaves. And that's all I'm going to do with the lamb's ear. So you just see that white at the bottom. Again, I'm carrying on what's up here. There's a lot of white around the top and the midsection. There's nothing really at the bottom. So I'm just carrying on by bringing it down at the bottom, but using foliage. I'm just going to have to lift it, guys. And I may need more, well, I will need more because I'm going quite close to each lamb's ear. Why can't I get that in there? Oh, it's the tape. Silly me. Bring that down. So I'm just going all the way till I meet up with the others, with the first one that I placed in. Where was it that I started there? When I get to the ribbon or the bow. I'll use this one. We'll place that under there as well. I'm just lifting it up, guys, so I can see where I've got to place it. Once I've got it there, then I'm just bring it in. So that's the lamb's ear in white. I brought a little bit of white down to the bottom. Right, so now before I carry on with any of like the thyme or the pine needles, I'm going to add in our shikibi, and I'm going, you'll see that by, if I just place one in with the dark tones, that also brings it alive. And with them being the wider leaf and broader, you are going to be covering some of your foam, so you won't have to place as many in if you placed in smaller foliage, because with the smaller foliage you'll be placing a little bit more in because of it is smaller, obviously. So we're just adding in these. Let's look for ones that are slightly bigger. I think they're all around the same size. And now I'm going to go around, filling around the midsection where I can see quite a bit of foam. And I'm using these as depth as well. I don't want to be using, you know, them as any length for anything. So I'm just moving the candlestick around, and where I see space, that's where they will go. Oops. I'll bring the odd one in the middle as well while I'm going around. Just pulled a leaf off. Oh, I've done it again. Oh gosh, guys, today just isn't going how I'd like it. But you know what? Just keep going. You know, don't stress. Just keep going. Oh, I've done it. I've just done it again, look. Oh, lordy, lordy, lord. You watch, I'll pull on it again and another one will come. Never mind. Never mind. It's all in a bit of good fun. So I say. Take this one around with us as well. I'm cutting them because they're not being, I've cut them off the bunch, but I've not cut them at angles. So it's not that I'm cutting them because there's anything wrong with them. It's I forget to cut them at angles. That's anyway, I guess, one of my worst things that I do. I just snip them horizontally when I'm snipping them off the bunch, like that. So I have to just put a slight little bit of an angle on, because I don't want it to shorten the stem. Right, let's get one, I think, near the middle. Let's get that one as well. I can't get that one in. What's in the way? That one. there. I'm going to bring this one just up here first while I'm on the top. So another one here. There's a bit of a gap this side. Right, so I've gone all the way round. I've got 3 pieces of them left. Now, that's what it looks like on the top. Doesn't that look pretty? The excuse me, what I'm wanting to do, where you see like little gaps here, this is where I'm wanting to put the pine needles or the thyme. I don't want any, you know, big leaves. I've placed all the big leaves in I need around the top, just something to add a little bit of different texture, because basically up here it's all smooth texture, it's all soft, like this foliage, the eucalyptus, the acorns are soft. These are just like little seeds, but they're soft. I've got the little seed heads here, they're slightly rough, not much, and then the shikibi, so it's all soft foliage. Now, to give it that contrast, I add in something spiky. It could be grass, it could be, you know, these like the pine needles. Instead of adding in another soft or solid leaf, I break it up by adding something that's wispy, airy and spiky, you know, just to give it that other little bit of contrast against each other. So I've got these. I may as well use these 3 up. So let's just cut them all at an angle. And these I will place at the bottom where I feel that something may be needed. Like just under here. If you look, there is a gap around here. So now I could place that there and fill in that gap. So if you have little pieces left over, you know, just like I've got these 3 oddments, and you're doing something, an arrangement, have a look at the bottom just to fill in. I may need to cut that a little bit shorter if I can get it out. So let's go back. So I've just covered now that gap at the bottom of the candlestick. So I will go around again, and I see one here. If you look underneath, you will see it there. So I want to cover my mechanics and around here. So but that's another thing, by adding something like a cluster of bigger leaves, you place that in and that will cover your mechanics, your floral tape. So let's get that one in as well. If I can. So that now has covered that space. So I've got one more. I've just missed one and I can, sorry guys, there. So I will place this one to cover that floral tape. So I've used those at the bottom, so I've got no more that I've got or need to use. so I can place those out of the way. So as you can see as well, we've created the like a dome shape also. So let's get the pine needles. Now all I'm going to do, again, I'm going to start at the top because there's all soft textures. So I'm going to bring something. I may have to cut these. I thought I could just place them in. So let's just cut about 1, 2, 3, 5. Hello?
Want a coffee?
Oh, yes, please. I'd love one. I haven't got my cup. It's in the house. Oh, bless. So, I'm going to now, as I say, bring these up above. And I'm going to have them so you can see them slightly sticking out a little bit higher than some of the other foliage, just so you can see that contrast from the soft to the smooth. And I'm going to make sure they're placed around where all the softer leaves are, so then the textures can bounce off each other as well. So we'll place that in. I can see. Again, I'm just having them slightly higher so they're sticking up. So don't be afraid to have some things slightly higher than others. You haven't got to have that perfect, you know, round ball shape, so to speak. And I'm placing these around where the acorns are to start with. Again, so we've got that little bit of extra rough texture at the top. I've used 4 because I'm going around the acorns to keep, you know, that like they're you know, together. Move that berry. So now I'm going to go around this level. So top, I'd say first level section, second, third, 4. So I'm creating 4 sections with the pine needles. So where I've placed these 2 here, I will place one on the second section in between. So I will go, let me just move that berry. Around there, again having it sticking out a little bit further. And I'll do that where these 2, so that's the first one, second one, so I've placed one there. So I'm going to use the second and third to guide me to place my other one on the second section in between those. Oh, I haven't cut it. Oh my good gracious me. What am I like? So I'll do that with those. So 2 and 3, and I'm going to go in here. Place that one, having it again sticking out a little bit. Then I'm going to use 3 and 4, or should I say 2 and 3, 3 and 4, yeah, here to come around here in the middle. And that's what you do as you're going on the next level down. And then I'm going to place one, and I'm going to go in between these at the top, between the 4th and the 1st pine needle, to place this one in down here. Again, sticking out. So now you bring it down to the next, thank you, you bring it down to the next level. So you've gone at the top, now you're on the second section, now you're going down the third, and you do the same process. Use the first on the second, ignore now the ones on the top, use the first and the second to place in your third one to create that triangle here. So I may not be able to, have to cut these. So we're not going to go any further than 3 sections. I think I'm going to keep it as 3. And you can just stick it out a little bit and bring some of your foliage so it doesn't look like it's left alone in. Then I think I will have to cut them just a tiny bit though. Let's pull that one out and do that one again and cut that one down also. So let's do it again. The first and the second one here and here to place just under the hydrangea, and again sticking out a little bit. I don't want it sticking out like I've just done and a bit too much. So then you use the second and third here. Let's get it right. Second and third to place this one under here. Just so you even can just see the tips of it near the bottom. So then use the third and the fourth. Bring that slightly under. And then you use the fourth and the first, which is these two, to place this one under here. So they're all balanced out from each other all the way around the arrangement, the candlestick arrangement. They're all equally balanced. Now I have 5 left. I'm not going to use them because I don't need them. I balanced them out with the texture and left it, and I don't want to disrupt the texture and or the placement of any of the others. Now I have the time. Now I want to do the same thing with this. Dot them around. So I'm just going to get those out for now. Oh, let me just, sorry guys, I've just seen mess. Oh, I was speaking to a lovely lady when I said my husband thinks I've got OCD, and I really agree with the lady. She says it's not relatively, you know, meant OCD because I'm cleaning up after myself. And I agree, because I find it's just out of respect from what you own or what you're doing or showing others, to keep the area clean. And plus, you know, it's what my mum brought me up to be like. So we're going to do the same process with these. Start off with 4 at the top. And I'm going to go in between these pine needles with the thyme. So I'm just going to have them sitting there because I don't want them right, you know, flush up to the pine needles. So I'm going in between. So there's a lot of soft leaves, you know, soft textured leaves in here. So I'm trying to balance out, you know, the soft and the rough textures with each other. I mean, there's obviously going to be more soft textures, but that's okay. At least you'll see a fair amount, oh my good gracious me, of the rough as well. So I've gone in between each of the pine. So use the pine. Now you've created your, or balanced out all your pine needles. Use the pine needles for placing, you know, the thyme. So use them as a guide. So where I've got the pine, you know, here and here, I will just place one in the middle of the pine. So use that as a guide. So I will grab the rosemary and I'll go in, or thereabouts in the middle, and just add that in there. So the thyme now is giving me that guidance, the pine needles is giving me the guidance on where I place my thyme. Whoopsie daisy, I can't see. What's stopping me? What's the ribbon? So that's giving that. So that's all I'm doing. It's going around. Now I've got my guidance from the pine needles. So everywhere you see a pine needle, place a thyme in between it. I hope that makes sense, guys, because sometimes I can tend to waffle. So pine, pine, so thyme. Pine, pine, thyme. That sounds good. And this is now on the bottom, on the third section. Just going around the bottom now. So pine, pine, thyme. So that's there. So that's all I'm doing, is going around. Sorry if you can hear my tummy grumbling, I don't know why. And then last one in here. So then when you look, just caught that one. When you look at your, if I show you here, there's the top one. The second level we did is created that triangle. And then at the bottom, the bottom one has created a triangle with the midsection there. So basically in all, you've created a diamond shape. And it's because now I've placed in these pine cones, all I had to do with the thyme was go in between the pine cones on each section. So I hope that makes sense. So I don't want no more of those. So I've feel that that is enough. I don't want to add in any more bows or anything like that. I think it's got plenty in it. I don't think by adding anything else, I mean it could. Oh, I forgot about these that I made. You could just add, they're very faint, so you wouldn't really not, you know, wouldn't see them. But just adding a little bit of interest like that. I just made these out of wire. So, I don't know. Just saw somebody do it. I'm going to just stick them in and see. I just want to see the... Oh, let's add them in. Because they're just sticking there. I haven't done anything really with them. I don't think it's... I think I was waiting for sort of like Christmas or something. So I got... Oops. So I got like... It was acted a bit... Go with something like ice blue or something. So let's just hang 3 in at the top and place them in there. You can't really see them anyway. I did do 8, I think, 8 or 9. I'm just going to place them in. Again, you can't really see. They don't really have any add any interest, if I'm being honest, guys. They're not. There's nothing that's adding to it. But now I've started, I'll just place these in. I can easily take them out. I'm not going to put any more in. So, because they're not really doing much, because you can't see them. But that, I mean, our candlestick from the top is, sorry, my tummy keeps grumbling, is looking lovely, nice dusky blue with white, with soft textures and rough textures as well, with the thyme and the pine needles and the rest, you know, all soft. And even if you think about it, these hydrangeas are slightly rough feel, but you know, but towards, you know, hydrangeas are soft flowers, so you would tend to look at them as soft. So that is today's project completed, and I'm ever so sorry about, again, my silly fault. I think I was, because I was in a rush to make sure that the Royal Mail, because the Royal Mail, if you're not in, they'll take your parcel away and then you have to go and collect it from their main office or station, where, you know, warehouse, and I don't want to be doing that. So I think I was rushing to get actually there. Let me just sit down a moment. So yeah, and I just didn't really want to be going to collect them, especially when I've paid for delivery. So I think because I was rushing, it was all fiddle-dee-dee, fiddle-dee-dum, you know, rush, rush, rush. Oh, it wasn't in. And as I did it, I just pressed stop. As soon as I pressed stop, I knew what I'd done. And I just thought, right, let's just go and check first. I went out and then I come in and then I had a little rant to myself. Oh, Iris, what have you done? Oh, what have you done again? You know what you do? even when people aren't around and you just talk to yourself and you tell yourself off sometimes. Well, I do. Sometimes if I've done something wrong, even in the house, I tell myself off. So anyway, today we've done our little candlestick arrangement. You know, if you don't want the tail ends hanging, you can cut them shorter. I was just wondering, are they hanging a little bit low? I may. Let's just see. I'm going to cut them about 3-4 inch, something like that. Oh, you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I've just cut it the wrong way, so I've dovetailed it. I suppose that looks so. No, it don't. No, now let's be professional. Cut it again. How many mistakes can you make in a day, guys? Let's cut this one. Because I wanted, basically, at the end of it, the ivy to be showing more than anything else. I know it's slightly hidden under there. What's stopping that one from popping up? I can't see. The sage leaf. There we go. So we'll do the same here, hopefully. Oh, well, guys, don't worry about it. Don't let it bother you. Everything can be rectified. Right, what's stopping that ribbon from sitting correctly? There. I think that's better. I think that's better, so we've only got shorter tail ends. Maybe cut that one a little bit more. Sorry. I can't help myself. I like things to look spot on. Let's check the other one as I go round. It'll come to, yeah, that's fine. So, do I start again? Do I just say to you, here we go? So, here we go, guys. This is our project for today. Now, if you've got a candlestick, doesn't matter what size, what colour, guys. You know, I've gone for this, obviously, colour, and I've sort of like, because it's got blue undertones to the sage green, as well as the chalky white. And that's what made me think of the, you know, go for the dusty, some dusty foliage as well as, you know, some velvety or texture from like the lamb's ear. Things like that, just, you know, because of the stand. I always say, if you're going to choose a container that's going to go with the choice of your colour, with your floral and foliage. You don't want to be choosing a bright orange one when you're doing pink flowers, for example. That's just for example. Try, if you haven't got a pink, try and go for neutral colours. You know, maybe creams, ivories, whites, even blacks, you know, things like that, what are more of a neutral colour, which will go with anything. And so because I've chose this, the dusky blue foliage as well, wherever it is, here with the brown tips on, that goes lovely with it. The dusky blue berries go with it as well, and the dusky blue hydrangeas. And hence the reason I chose the thyme, because that's dusted. It's got, you know, like a powdery effect on, which goes with the stand, and so does the pine needles. So I try to blend in some of my floral and foliage that actually go with the stand in that sort of texture. Also, I don't always have that sort of texture for what I'm doing. You know, like when it comes to glossy containers, I don't always have glossy flower. Well, I don't really have glossy flowers because they're all silk. But if you get what I mean, like berries, by just adding in a few glossy berries, you know, just to mimic that shininess of the container as well, and maybe a bow as well to mimic it. So there's always a way to sort of like mimic the container as well, or something with a bit of glitter or metallic, you know, things like that. So I hope you enjoyed that. And yet my apologies deeply. I know a lot of people are going to watch the first part where I got to doing the bows. It ended where I finished the second bow. And then they probably not watch the rest of it. But, you know, that's your choice. You know, it'd be nice if you sat and watched part 2 as well. I much appreciate it, guys. And I'll try not to do that mistake again, especially tomorrow anyway. So have a wonderful day. Please subscribe, share and like. To everybody who you know, bring them along just to see different things. I mean, this could be used as a wedding, on a wedding table as well, or, you know, something like that. And, you know, bring them along, give them some ideas and some colour choices and tones and shades, and learn how to place flowers. Oh, here's my cat. And also see my cat. So, and have a wonderful day. And I will see you back here tomorrow. And no, careful, go on, go on. And we will have something different to do, and fingers crossed I don't go wrong. Okay, guys, keep your comments coming. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye for now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Right, let's just take... Oh, he's crying again. It's not even time. Oh, sorry, guys. That's what he does, guys. Can you hear him? What do you want? That's all he does. That's the noise he makes. For nothing. For nothing. Absolutely nothing. So come out my way. I'm trying to show people. Right, there's our ribbon. Oh, gosh, we're not in Zoom, are we? One moment. Back to it. Right, there's our ribbon, what we call the film strip. Where it's brown on the underside. There's our dark seeds, our navy blue, and our white floral, our ivy, our lovely pine needles, our shikibi spray, and our beautiful berries here, our lovely long leaf eucalyptus, our blue dusky foliage with brown tints on, and just those that I made, don't worry about those. And our acorns as well. What else did we use, guys? Oh, and our sage leaves and our Chinese lanterns. How could I have forgot the Chinese lanterns? So we've got those, and our dusted twined fern. As you can see, I don't know if I get a close up, the dust on them inside. There you go. So that's what we created today, guys. So give it a go if you've got a lovely, you know, candlestick. And we can still see the stand as well, which is fabulous. Oh, and our white lamb's ear, guys. Sorry about that. And, you know, give it a go and have some fun. And maybe just even place it in your home, you know, for something to look really pretty. Just as an all year round or seasonal, depending on what you want to do with it or what you place in it. So have a wonderful day, guys. Take care. And again, my apologies for stopping the video. Bye for now. Bye-bye.